Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and we're back reviewing some hands I played on the 25 and LGG Russian Cash Streets over the weekend. We've got 32 hands to get through. There's going to be mistakes in here. I'm going to hopefully spot them and explain why I think I made the mistake. And yeah, let's just get stuck into the hands. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all those things if you haven't already subscribed. And if you have a comment on a hand, please put the timestamp of the hand in the time of the video, or if you can't do the timestamp, just type the time in the video in, so I can go back and look at it and respond to your comment, because I do try and respond to all comments. Without further ado, let's get stuck in. We're starting with one of my favourite hands, Pocket Kings. We have a raise from unknown villain, maybe not unknown at the time, but we've got these HUD stats up. How much use they're going to be, I don't know, because they're all going to be pretty small samples. We're obviously going to 3-bet here, probably to 12 big blinds. 11, okay. And we get a call. And we flop quads. We check, of course, because what can he have? I don't expect to see too many bets in. Maybe now and again we'll see like a 1/3 probe bet with who knows what. It depends if it's the sort of player who like merge bets or not, or just attacks checks. But we're going to check. I think it's pretty standard to check quads in a 3-bet pot out of position. He checks back. Turn is a spade. Maybe we could start betting now. Maybe we should start betting now. Just bet like 1/3 pot or something like that. It's very unlikely we're going to win a big one now. But do we need to start building a pot? Do we need to maybe check and let our opponent maybe build some confidence in his pocket 6s or pocket 8s? Maybe he wants to try and bet to protect them now, to fold out my ace queen, ace jack, queen jack, jack 10, etc. All those sort of hands. If he's got a medium pocket pair, maybe he'll stab. I did check again. Willen checked back. And we see a flush completing river. Could be a good card. I think now we probably just need to bet. He's just shown no interest in trying to stab at this pot. So I think now we should just bet. And then just try and get called by his bluff catchers. Probably bet quite big. Maybe he just flicks in a call with like pocket 8s, with or without a spade, etc. We go with full pot, which I think I'm fine with. Because I imagine if he's got a hand like pocket 8s, pocket 5s, pocket 10s, whatever, just some sort of pocket pair, maybe even some like reasonable ace highs. I think his bluff catchers are going to call or fold, whether we bet 23 here, whether we bet 3/4 pot. Don't think it's going to change his calling range very much. And Willen jams. And because I'm a total dickhead, I did enjoy slow rolling this player before calling. And he backed into the nut flush, so that's kind of unfortunate for him. And makes me rather pleased that we did go with the checks. Although maybe we still stack him anyway, because we stab flop, he's probably not folding this hand. We barrel turn, he's probably not folding. So I think either way, once that board comes down, we're probably going to win all the money, but we won it in a way that allowed us a slow roll, which was delightful. 6-7 suited. Raise from under the gun. Probably calling this. I mean, we know we're going to continue with this hand because all of these pots are where we've won or lost at least 40 big blinds. So we're not going to continue. I don't think we ever won a 3-bet this, but maybe we do. Against some players, maybe we just want to be... No, we don't want to be folding Showbridge. Call. Flop. A gut shot. Check. Villain bets 1/3. We're going to continue in some capacity here. I think probably just calling. I think I'd want to have like more equity to check raise here. Maybe that's wrong though. Maybe we just check raise this hand because we don't really care about being 3-bet. Whereas if we had a flush draw, we wouldn't be too bothered about being 3-bet, but it would be quite annoying. Maybe we just call, maybe I raise. There probably will be a little bit of raising here on this board texture versus 1/3. And I'd imagine a lot of his hands probably should want to go bigger. If he had like aces or kings here or something like that, would a player bet 2 big blinds? Maybe they would if they're just into their lazy range betting. But I think this is probably a board where value wants to bet a bit bigger. We did go with raise. Brilliant called. We turn a double gut shot now. Oh, an open ender actually, so short bridge. Probably going to barrel here and just hope not to get ripped on. And my barrel probably wants to be on the chunkier side. So obviously our bluffs want to match our value. If I was value raising here on the flop with that set or some kind of 2 pair, I'd go pretty big on this turn, at least 3/4 pot. We go 18. Villain calls. And we river the nuts, which is nice because it's a nuts that's quite disguised. When we bet this river, we're basically saying, look, mate, I've got 2 pair plus and flush draws. So we're going to go a pretty big size again. And I think we're going to get bluff caught pretty wide here because, the gut shots come in, but it's a hard one to spot, and the obvious draws have missed, or the most obvious draw, like the club draw. So I think we want to go pretty big here. How big do we want to go? Maybe even just jam for like 100, about 1.4 pots, something like that. We do jam and calls with aces, and I think his line's reasonable there. And I like that we got there because I would have bluffed that river and we would have been snapped off. Raise, 3-bet, call. Let's see if I go with a chunky c-bet here, more than half pot. We do. Call. Pretty crummy turn card in terms of do I think this player has much 5x in range? Pocket 5, 6-5 suited, 5-4 suited maybe. 2 pairs he can have, probably just 6-7. Sets, depending on how wide he's opening from hijack. Guess he can have some sets. It's not an ideal card. I think we probably still want to barrel low, do we? Just for value from pocket 10s, pocket jacks, pocket 9s, etc. I can get behind checking too, but I've got to make a decision here in the review. Probably checking, I think, actually. Although we did big bet flop, which I probably wouldn't have done with ace, king, etc. Maybe we just keep betting and get upset when we get raised. I think betting less than half pot, setting up a river shove should we want to take it. So I check. He checks back. River deuce. I think we just have the best hand all the time. Again, could we just jam? I think jamming's reasonable. I also think betting around 70% pot's reasonable too. We definitely want to bet. We definitely don't want to make a small bet. And I don't mind which we do here. I don't mind if we bet 30. I don't mind if we go all in. Bet 40. He calls. And he had 2 queens, so we missed out on stacking queens there, but never mind. Ace, king of red. Raise, 3-bet, 4-bet, call. Top pair, bet 1/4. Less than 1/4, whatever. Call. Turn. Bit dicey. He definitely has stuff like ace 4 in range, ace 5 in range. He can also have stuff like 4x, so can he have 5-4 suited? Definitely. 6-4 suited, maybe. Who knows? I think we want to check. That's okay, so I bet. I don't think I like this. Villain calls. Diamond on the ribbon. Now I think we just have a comfortable check fold. What the fuck am I doing here? This is super thin. This is too thin. This is just too thin, Reg. I mean, this is greedy. This is me just trying to get called by that ace, queen, ace, jack. It's just too thin, though. It's going too far, I think. Willem did fold, but that is just way, way, way too thin. I think. Not going to run it in the solver because I'm not really that interested in what solver says. I think against a human, that's maybe too thin. But maybe he just flicks it in with an ace. Who knows? Raise. We're going to 3-bet. Note that I'm using larger 3-bet sizes. That's because villains in the micro stakes don't 4-bet enough, but they do call too wide. So we're just using larger sizes to try and exploit that. He does 4-bet this time, which is most unfortunate and inconvenient. We're going to have a relatively uncomfortable call, because if we are theorising that we think population typically way under 4-bet but call too much, then this 4-bet's surely representing a strong range from population, even if maybe not from this villain in particular, who knows. From population it certainly is, but we do make the call. Flop top pair. Face quarter pots. This guy's obviously a reg. Call. Turn the nuts. Check. Don't like jam. It's fishy, but I just like small bet. He's reopen, give him chance to make some stubborn calls. Maybe he sees a small bet. It's like a red rag to a bull, and he just jams. Yeah, I think I like reopening the betting here, but I don't like reopening it for a big size. I want to try and create the illusion of fold equity, or just be annoying to a hand like, ace king or ace jack or something like that, or be annoying to a set. So yeah, reopen, but reopen for small. Which is what we do. He calls. River is a club. Not too worried about that. We should jam here. This wouldn't be too thin. We do jam, and he folds. 10-9 suited. Opening from the cutoff. Call from the small blind, which is obviously going to be a recreational player. Calling out small blind versus cutoff. Well, not obviously, because there will be some flats in here, so that's not fair. But more likely, my assumption is most human regs are going to be playing 3-bet or fold. But I have noticed that small blind is starting to slip some cold calls in now, which I quite like. Villa now donks. I think just raise. It's fast play. Maybe raise to like 9 bigs, 10 bigs, something like that. Don't like that much. So the problem is, yeah, fine. We're ahead of like chunks and chunks and chunks of his range. But when he does this, it's just going to be like pretty equity driven. So I think we're just going to get called a lot when we raise. And also, our hand doesn't really want to see a fourth heart coming because it significantly devalues our hand. We did go with call though. He now bets 1/3 pot turn. We have to attack this size. We need to put more money in the pot with our hand than this. Probably like to see myself raised now to like 10 bigs, 11 bigs, 15, whatever. Call. River breaks off. He checks, and now we should just go pretty big. The guy's clearly got one heart in his hand. If he hasn't, he's got a jack that might want a bluff catch. Yeah, I just think bet large, like 3/4 pot, something like that. We go with full pot. Villain calls, and they had ace jack offsuit. Problem is, we do lose some of these hands, but I've been having a pretty good time of it. Open, probably 3-bet to isolate the fish, but don't love it. Don't like reopening when he could just be like, yeah, I'm all in, mate, with pocket sevens or whatever. If it's a fish, that's definitely going to be on his playbook at some frequency. No, we do go with a smaller 3-bet here because of villain stack size. He calls, flop second pair, check. I think probably just checking his back. Turn ace of diamonds. He leads, just calling. River the nuts, check. And all in, I think. and call. And the guy turns straight. Pocket 5, see ya. Call out the small blind. Don't love it at all, but I think once the button comes along, probably just want to get in there and try and flop a set multi-way, which I'm guessing we're going to do, because why else will we put 40 bigs in? We do flop the set. Did tell you I was running pretty blessed. We check, obviously. He checks. He bets. Start raising now, I guess. And because we're check raising multi-way, it's pretty polarizing. I'd like to see us go like 4.5x, yeah, 18 bigs. Ugh. Ugh. Don't like that. Check. Bet. Now we have to raise, surely. Raise to like 35. 37. Okay, he calls. 8 on the river. Pretty safe run out. All in. Villain calls. And villain river does. Never mind. I think, however, that hand plays out, we get stacked. Check raise flop is not folding. Barrel turn is not folding. Yeah, so unavoidable. Nice answer. Well, avoidable. We could just flat pre, but we could just fold pre. But you know what I mean. Calling the 9s, flopping a set again. Check. Bet small. Have to raise versus his small size. Probably up to around 7ish. 8. Okay. Cool. Jack Queen gets there. Double flush draw board, though. We wanted to be betting and betting big here. Yeah, of course, sometimes we're on the wrong end of it against slow paid set, against turn kings, against turn Jack Queen. But we just need to bet here and probably overbet due to it being double flush draw, but maybe not overbet because of the presence of Jack Queen and bigger sets. So maybe not. But certainly betting big. Excuse me, Reg. I'm not going for the double check raise, am I? Am I going for the double check raise here? Oh, not going for the double check raise versus that. He's now basically saying I have at least a set of 10s. Jack Queen, and then probably some draws. I don't think we want to raise versus this. I think it's easier to panic here and just jam. But when we get called, we're going to be behind pocket 10s, behind pocket kings. Not doing like in good shape, but not brilliant shape against like combo draws. Like, well, maybe no, we're okay against combo draws. Actually, against straights, obviously we're live, but I don't think we want to jam. River the flush gets there. Check. Check back. I mean, I think he just has a jam on the river. Don't like his check back. Yeah, it's thinnish. But I think he has a jam on the river. 10-9. Limp. Check. Flop the nuts. Bet. Raise. Call. Still got the nuts. Check. Just bet big reg, 75% plus. I actually went with overbet. I don't mind this. Villain calls. Still got the nuts. Villain now bets half pot. We should just be all in. Yep, whatever. We had a non-believer. It's king. Called 4 here to a round. Something I picked up from watching a Pete Clark video the other week. I think he got squeezed in a similar spot and Villa made it quite small from the small blind, and Pete was saying he thought it was quite good because he just puts a lot of the 3-betters range in the cage. So that's something I've been trying to implement. I wouldn't be surprised to see me like just go to something like 18 here. 17, okay? But I'm just fiddling around with it. The standard here would be to go probably maybe up as high as 20, 21 even, I don't know. But I like fiddling around with new things, and I decided to go with this. Villain calls. Flop a big for airball, but it is a 4-bet pot. We do have backdoor clubs, we have backdoor spades we can pretend to have. I think I like just betting small here. Ugh. Ugh, don't like that. No reason for this size. Yeah, we've gone like 40% here or something. I don't like this. Don't like this at all. Villain calls. Turn 3. Should probably think about giving up. We've got SPR 1 left. That villain could just have like 10s, jacks, maybe even queens here, etc. I don't like jam here. If we jam, it's just a massive punt. I don't like bet full stop. This is bad from me. I don't like this. This is just me trying too hard to win the pot. Villain calls. Repeat 4 on the river. I already know what I'm going to do. I already know I'm going to jam. It's basically because I have like an advantage in like aces, kings, etc. Even though if he has pocket aces, he should probably just flat. This is real punt territory for me. And I already know I'm going to do it. I already know I'm going to do it. Yeah, this is just a mega punt. I find it puts a load of pressure on 10s, jacks, etc. But they're just going to call with them. Most of the time, humans. They're going to be like, fuck me, I ran into aces or whatever, kings, but call anyway. This is just not good. This is just too aggressive. But it works. So, operation failure, but patient survived. 3 bets. Again, sticking with the people don't 4-bet enough and they call too wide. For example, he should be 3xing for a start, but his 4 to 3-bet A should be in excess of 60%. It won't be. And his 4-bet won't be meeting the correct theoretical frequency either. So we like just go betting 3-betting bigger. SPR just under 2. He checks. I can go either way here. Check back or just bet small. I don't really care. We did go with check back. Turn 7. Villain now probes half pot. Villain can do this if he's a fish with some like worse hands of pocket 10s that are just like doing like a mergy / protection bet against 2 high cards. So you wouldn't be surprised to see like pocket 6s, pocket 7s, pocket 6s, pocket 8s, pocket 9s, obviously Jack X, maybe some bluffs. Can't fold. 7 river. Villain bets half pot again, and I don't think we can fold this hand to half pot. We're just going to lose a lot. I get that, but I don't think we can fold to half pot. I mean, he's only got 8.24 bigs behind. Don't know why he didn't just jam. He just clicked his half pot button, didn't he? We call, and we lose to ace jack. No problem with that hand. Open the queens. Call, fold. Check. Against someone with these stats, and there's loads of these in the Triple Eight in the GG pool. Fucking Jesus Christ, there are some enormous nits in there. Well, they're not even, they're just fucking like tight fish. So many players that are playing like fucking 11/4, 10/3, 15/6. Fuck off, lads, and grow up. Anyway, just bet big. Calls. Some straights get there, some 2 pairs get there. Someone with these stats, with this profile, etc. Wouldn't expect them to be riddled with straights here, but they probably have more than their fair share of sets. Probably still just bet big and then comfortable fold to raise. He calls again. We river straight. He checks. We just got straight, so just bet big. Let him decide what he wants to call with. Don't overthink it. Don't be like, oh, what could he call with? Bet a certain size. We just have a straight. We just bet big, and then it's his problem. We actually go with over bet. He calls. He has two pairs. So he's playing these stats. Maybe he isn't playing these stats long term. Who knows? But then he just has the 10-9 off from the small blind. Doesn't make sense. Open 3-bet. Called 4-bet to a smallish size again, I would hope. Yep, we do. So at least I'm being consistent. Call. Bet small, like just a little 10%er. Could even think about going for a check raise here maybe and just try to get the money in now. He's going to have some like ace, queen, jack, queen suited, etc. that might stab when we check. I wouldn't hit check shove here, but I suspect I'm just going to go with the small bet. Right, so we're doing this. Second time we've used it, in my opinion, well, theoretically disapproved of sizing. I think in practice maybe it's just okay still against humans, but theoretically it's definitely not a thing, or not much of a thing anyway. He calls, turn jack. This board's getting very, very dicey. I mean, he has aces in range still, called 4-bet in. He has queens and jacks in range pure. Probably has aces in range pure. This is a relatively dicey spot. I mean, we're obviously just going to get the money in some capacity, and if we beat, we're beat. But what's like the best way to get the money in? Against like, do we check and does he like sometimes bet worse? Do we jam and just hope he flicks it in with ace, queen, king, queen, queen, jack was still there? I think probably just jamming. He checks back, and now I guess we're just going to jam. Oh, I was really scared. I clearly just thought this guy had aces, queens, or jacks and nothing else. I was really scared in this spot. Not so scared that I'm not going to call here, but what do we beat? I mean, I guess some queen X can jam at this point, facing two checks. I mean, we have to call, but it's not a happy call. And of course, he had the top set. King Jack suited. Squeezing. I wouldn't hate flatting with this hand, but I suspect I'm going to squeeze. Call. It's not much use to us, is it? Flop, flush draw. I think bet or check raise, both fine. We won't check this time. We must raise now, though. I don't like the idea of check calling here. Raise. And we don't have to raise very big either. You can just raise this to like 2.5x, so just raise to, I don't know, 35. Oh, Reg, I don't like this. Check. Bets 10%. Don't like taking the bait here. I wouldn't be surprised if I did take the bait and just fucking rip it in his face. I think I prefer just calling, try to realise. And then we make our hand, and now it's a matter of do we donk or do we check? I think we can check raise here still, so I think I like checking and then just jamming over bet. He actually just puts us in, or thereabouts. He leaves us with 0.04 big blinds. And he rivered the full house. Never mind. Open. Yes, unknown player. I can go either way here. 3-bet or call. Probably versus 3x. I prefer to see 3-bet. You just call. We see bet flop range. Pretty normal. Call. Probably start checking. Checks back. And then just bluff river. I guess. Just bluff river. Put his like unimproved pocket pairs in a bit of an uncomfortable spot, I guess. And probably bet like 70% pot. Villain calls. That's king queen. Nice answer. Open 3-bet. Call. Check range here. Bet. Can't fold, but not happy. Certainly don't want to raise. Just call. Turn a flush draw. Check. Bet. Bet small on this card. This is the sort of time I take the bet. I just don't think humans do this size very often with their strong but vulnerable hands. If they had, say, pocket queens here or pocket jacks, with or without a heart, would they reopen for 1/3? I don't think they would. I think they do quite a bit of checking back or just big betting. So when I see this, I'm like, well, is this someone just betting small to try and check back the river? Can we now try and take them off a hand? I think without a heart here, just folding is completely fine. With a heart, we can probably just call, to be fair, just try and realise. But we can also semi-bluff, and I wouldn't be surprised if I went for this semi-bluff here. Yeah, we do. He calls, we river a very good hand. Now we're just all in. And he folds. Queen, queen, open. We're going to 3-bet. Call. Check. I think check back or big bets here. I think I prefer big bets. Call. Turn jack. Double flush draw board. 2x pot left. There's plenty of strong hands Willen can have here. Set of jacks, set of 8s, set of 9s, set of 6s. 10-7 suited, probably not, but maybe 10, queen 10, diamonds and clubs, almost certainly. What worse hands can they have? Plenty. Ace 9, ace 8, ace 6, ace jack. Maybe not many of which call. Flush draws for definite. Pair plus draw. I think just bet big and commit. Oh, check back. Jack river. And then checks. Now we just have an easy value bet for like 70%. Villain calls. And they had 7-8. Pocket 3s. 3. Call. Flop a set. What a surprise. Check, check. Bet 1/3, which is pretty standard in the multi-way spot. Check raise. So this guy's saying he's got pocket 5s, pocket 10s. And that's about it for value. Unless he's getting out of line with like an overplaying a hand like ace 10, king 10, queen 10. There's no real natural bluffs available here, like ace 4, ace deuce, some backdoor stuff. If I had middle set here, I would fast play because villain can have bottom set and we just want to get all the money in. If I had top set here, I would never fast play. Bottom set, I mean, I can get behind the fast play here, but I think I also like just calling. I think I prefer calling. Fold. Turn 7. Now he bets half pot. I'm not worried about any straight cards coming off because I think it's incredibly unlikely he's going to make a straight if like a deuce, 4 or 6 comes up. I think it's incredibly unlikely. No, I hate just calling again. River ace. He's now all in. We just have to call and hope he hasn't got 10s or 5s. And he had the big overplay. No fucking clue what that river jam's all about. Literally no fucking clue. Ace queen. Open call. I know I've been doing some checking back in these spots with range. Wouldn't like it here though. Just bet. Which is what we do. Get check raised. think without the backdoor diamonds, we can just fold this right now. As nitty as that sounds, these check raises are as rare as fucking hen's teeth, as rare as rocking horse shit, whatever else, you know, whatever other rare things you can think of. I think without the diamonds, we just fold. We can't take a ton of heat with this hand. Yeah, fine, if he's getting a bluff through with 4, 5 or spades, good for him. But with the diamonds, I think we have to call. Turn 3, removing some of his value combinations. Ace 3 suited's not really there now. It's there in hearts, and that's it. Pocket 3s is now just one combo. He bets again. I think we have to call on this particular card. Although we are deeply uncomfortable. 5 river, villain jams, and this is a spot, the trap that we all fall into. It's like, right, well, okay, you know, like 4, 5's made a pair but might still bluff. Spades might still bluff, etc., etc., etc. When in reality, most of the time, it's just fucking pocket 6s or quads, isn't it? That's just what it is most of the time. I think we, as like an exploit of the microstakes population, we should just fold this. And I think it's a pretty easy fold, to be honest. We called. And he had the queen 3 of spades, so he was semi-bluffing the flop. Nice answer. Ace, queen, squeeze. Pick up a call from the call guy. It's obviously some kind of recreational play, you would imagine. Just, I guess, range bet here. 2 overs, backdoor straight draw, etc. Half pot. I mean, I don't hate that. I mean, I've started range betting a little bit bigger against certain player profiles. Yeah, anyone's a theory buff, he would be like, oh, Reg, that's too big. I don't really fucking care, to be honest. I'm not worried about like trying to mimic theoretical ranges or sizes. I think this is probably okay. It's going to capture quite a lot of folds. It's going to already start putting quite a lot of pressure on his call region of mostly probably pocket pairs like deuces through 10s maybe. Turn an ace. Now we've got a nice juicy big pot in order to try and get the rest of the money in. Again, then we just go half pot again here. Maybe a little bit smaller. Not really that worried. It's weird now because we half pot the flop. Sometimes now we want to maybe go a little bit smaller on the turn. Or maybe we just want to jam because we've got just less than pot. Yeah, let's half pot just make the turn play a bit weird. We went with check. Guess I'm going to go for a check raise. Check back. And maybe now we just jam river. Do we jam? Do we just bet for like 70%? Is that weird? I don't know. So I don't remember the fucking hand. Genuinely don't know. If I was in this spot again, what would I do? I wouldn't check because he's just going to check about too many hands that maybe just call a bet. Maybe block. And I don't like blocking. I think actually blocking is like pretty... It's a pretty shit strategy against humans, to be honest. It's fine. Well, is it a shit strategy? I don't like it. But maybe we do it here. Oh, I went with a 10%er. I went with the inducer. We got a call. We got pocket 6s to punt. We like that. And when I do that 10%, it's almost always an inducer. Open. 3 bets. I'm trying to play a lot more 4-bet or fold pre-flop and have less calls. I wouldn't be surprised if I see this go in the 4-bet range. Villain calls. Flop a flush draw. Check. I don't mind either way here. Check back or bet small. It's going to be pretty hard to butcher this spot. We go with the bet small. He calls. Turn a gut shot. check. And again, I don't mind here, check back to realise or just bet and call it off. If we were bet calling, probably like 1/3 on the cry call. Calls again. Over the nuts. Check, and we're just all in, aren't we? And he folds. Jack, Jack, open. 3-bet. Call. Range bet, which for me these days is normally on the larger side. Oh. Guess we're check raising. Yep. Okay. Call and then just jam turn. Call. Villain had queen 10 and hit the river. So that was a case of operation success. Patient died. Jack, queen, open. Call from clearly recreational play on the button. I just check range almost always when out of position. Maybe against a fish we can start working some small bets in here. But I think I'm probably going to end up checking. Then call or raise here. Don't really care. We went with call. Turn the open ender. Check. Versus this small bet, we can call because we're just getting good pods. Or we can go for the semi-bluff because, again, I don't think recreational players do a good job of protecting this 3 big blind range with strong hands. So I think we can raise here too, which is what we do. Villain calls. After villains call raises, especially fish, I'm not usually that prone to or that inclined to bluff the next street. But we've got queen high here, so we probably have to. But I'm really not fond of it. I think we'd have like pretty limited fold equity here, especially on this card. I think maybe we can just give up here. I think we probably should actually. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to. Well, we can't because we lose at least 40 blinds in this pot, or we somehow win, which seems unlikely. So I know I'm going to bluff. Everyone knows I'm going to bluff. I think we can just give up though. And you get caught by king 10. Which I'm surprised he did protect his small bet range there with the strong hand. It's not usually what I expect. Here. Right. Okay, I ported this hand to the Discord that I'm in. Well, both Discords that I'm in. I've got 3 responses. I got a response from a player who I respect called Joe on one server who said he doesn't like this, what I did pre. I went with 4-bet here. And I've got another response in the other server from a player I also respect, and he was like, he likes 4-bet pre. So I haven't really learned much about whether we like it or not pre. I did try and run this in the solver. We had to like pretend this guy didn't exist. And it mixes 4-bet in pre, but that's a very low frequency. Anyway, this guy folds. This guy calls. We're just going to range bet here for small. Call. Turn 7, check. I think we just check back here. So I think it's all relatively standard apart from the 4-bet pre. And now it goes off the rails. Because now this guy blocks for 1/3 pot. In game, I was thinking villain probably has a lot of king, king, queen, queen, and then some like suited ace-x stuff. The issue we have upon review is a lot of his suited ace-x stuff is a full house. Say he has like ace-4 through ace-10. Well, 3 of those are full houses. Does he have flushes? I think flushes, like king, queen hearts, king, 10 hearts, maybe some stuff like 8-7 hearts, queen, jack hearts he can't have, queen, 10 hearts maybe, but I suspect they jam. I don't think flushes are going to bluff here because we don't have many full houses because of the way the board is. And ace-5 would be maybe a 4-bet from us. Ace-7 and ace-9 definitely not. Pocket 7's not. Pocket 9's, well, we've we've got jacks, and maybe we have nines, but we probably don't. So I think he just wants to jam his flushes. So when he does this, I think it's basically going to be some like king, king, queen, queen, and some like suited ace-x stuff. I went with jam here. Just like not wanting to call and lose to kings and queens, thinking we have useful fold equity against them, thinking we can maybe even make an ace fold. We can have flushes in range, and we can want to do this with them. We have like king, queen suited, king, jack suited, king 10 suited maybe. So we do have some flushes where a villain can't have flushes. I think he probably, well, he almost certainly has more boats than we do. I don't know what I think about this, to be honest. And there's definitely been a little bit of fuck you. You're not fucking value betting against me here with like, I'm just not letting you thin value bet against me. If you got a boat, good for you, but fuck you and your thin value. There's definitely an element of that going on here. And it worked because he folded, but I'm not sure about that hand at all. Solver, if we run it without this guy existing, jams the river a very, very small percent of the time. It calls the river an even smaller percent of the time, and it falls like 95%. So my jam was a punt, but whatever. It was in there. It was just about a thing. Pocket tens, opens, 3 bets. Again, I expect to see 4 bet quite often here. I wouldn't be surprised to see call. I think we can do either here, but I think I'm more inclined to 4 bet at the moment. So we call. Villain bets half pot. Call. Villain checks. I think probably check back. Don't want to reopen tens here. Deuce river. Villain bets. Just call and guess lose. Yeah, there's king. Fair play to him. Here we go. Open 3 bet. Called 4. Fold. Maybe just ram it in his face. We won't call, whatever. I think prefer ramming his face, to be honest. He bets small, which is very normal. Call. He bets small again, very normal. Call. He jams. Very, very, very few bluffs in range here, but we've come this far. I guess we can't fold, but don't expect to win too often here. Now we just ran into kings. Jack 10 suited. Open. Call. Flop an open ender. I don't mind check back or bet here. I think it's hard to misplay this spot. We won't be check back. Turn the nuts. Check. Just bet edge. Like 3/4 pot. Maybe something like that. Get check raised. It's fun. Again, this is going to be equity driven in my opinion. So I think we can get away with 4 bet in here. I don't like jam. I think it falls out too much. Do I like a fishy little click here? I think I remember this hand. I think I did go with like a fishy little click. Yeah, we did. Fucking megaphone. Hiya, mate. I've got a straight over here, but please don't fold. Please don't fold. I've got a straight. Jam if you want. I don't mind. I'll call, but please don't fold. Our man did call. We get a brick river. And then he saves us having to move the slider because he goes all in and we have the easiest of calls, obviously. And villain don't know what he was doing, to be honest. I mean, we've 3 bet the fucking turn, mate. Are you turning 2 pair into a bluff? Why? I don't know. Maybe that's theoretically genius. It looks like fucking shite to me. King, queen. 3 bet. 2 calls, so not a happy situation. Check, check. I'm just going to check back here, I imagine. Turn 9. Bet. Just call. River 8. Check. Obvious bluff is obvious. Again, can we just give up here? I think I'd check back some ace highs. If I'd squeeze like ace king, ace queen here, I'd probably be happy checking those back. But king high, probably bluff and never win. Well, we do sometimes win. We can get ace highs to fold here. Problem is we're ahead of some stuff like jack 10, queen jack. But I'm trying to give up less. So we just bluffed. Bluff because bluff. He calls with queens. Nice answer. And it's suited. I guess just calling here. This isn't a spot where I'm going to go for a squeeze. Flop a draw. Check, check. I don't really want to reopen here and risk getting raised. Turn 6. Bet. Fold. Just call, I guess. River the very, very, very well disguised notes. Bet. Big. Raise to what? What should we raise to here? I would have raised here with queen 10 or with diamonds, etc. Probably like 44, something like that. Wow, I just went for it. I just fucking went for it. This is greedy, Reg. I mean, we know we're going to get caught because the pot's too small to have made it into the video otherwise, but that's greedy. Oh, man. Oh, man, that river. That was a good river. Aces. Open. 3 bets. Call. Flop a boat. We're going to rush through this one because it's going to be impossible to misplay almost. Check. Probably just range bet. Yeah, here now. There's small range bet all of a sudden. Turn. Just keep building the pot, Reg. Yep. Call. And all in, Reg. Yeah, okay. Nothing to see there. And this is the last hand. Ace king open. 3 bet. 4 bet. Call. 10%. Sorry, 25%ish. Ooh, I'm going bigger again. I don't like this. Call. Guess just all in now. We set up a really weird SPR again. Nah, not rich. Call. Diamond River. Rough as shit. I should probably still just jam though, I think. Just very unlikely to have many flushes. Check. Bet. See. Now we probably can't call. Like, what bluffs does he have here? Is he going thin enough for value? King Jack? No. Is he value betting Ace Queen? No. So we just don't beat any value. And given the diamonds got their bluffs, are going to be really hard to find. Like Jack 10 suited would be a bluff here. Ace Jack maybe. Ace 10. Yeah, please fold, Reg. Oh, Reg! And of course he just has a set. Nice answer. So let's get into looking at the graphs and then we'll wrap it up. So here's our graph for the month to date. Going pretty damn well. Up over 600 at the tables. Up over 800 with rate back for the month to date, which 18 days in I'm really pleased with. Volume's pretty good. 50,000 hands this month. Small chance we crack the 100,000 hands for the month. Only a small chance, so we're going to have to go at like 4,000 hands a day, something like that. Possible. And for the year to date, I think we crashed through a milestone this week. This is right, okay. This is just my speed poker. This is going to be me in general, I think. I might have to pause the video because I'm not sure I've got all my aliases in this. We crashed through the 3K hand barrier with rate back over the weekend, which 2.5 months in is pretty good. Yeah, there we are. Like getting on for like 160,000 hands almost for the year. Crashed through the $3,000 barrier. Really, really, really pleased with how it's going. For those of you who follow the channel, you'll know I had a pretty big lull from like late November last year, and it went on for a while for reasons I've previously explained that I don't need to go into again. But I think, like, again, those of you who follow the channel, you'll know, like, back at the end of January, I visited a friend, a real life friend who lives in my postcode district, who I've known for a long time. He's a good poker player too. And he introduced me to some mass data stuff. And since then, my mojo has just so much returned. I've been doing a bit more, I had one more study session with him. I've been doing stuff on my own. And my game's just getting like better and better. And the interesting thing is that there's a saying, isn't there? Like, the more things change, the more things stay the same. And I didn't really understand that saying. But I think it's true in poker. Like, I'm doing more stuff now that I was doing 12 years ago than I have for ages. But I'm doing it now because I just know it's good from like the mass data. Some theory stuff, solvers do some stuff that we were doing years ago that people couldn't explain. They were just doing it. Mass data definitely does a lot of that stuff, and a lot of it went out of fashion. People got too fucking fussy. People got too smart. People got, oh, let's see what solver does, and myself included, I got lost in all of that. I lost myself as a poker player. I lost myself in terms of what am I trying to fucking achieve here. It was a very, very silly era. Lots of people are still fucking stuck in it, thankfully. And let's hope they stay stuck in it for a very long time. But yeah, I'm just really, really happy. That was a lot of the stuff I've always done intuitively just appears to be pretty fucking good. And I've kind of always known that, but I lost confidence in it due to like solver stuff, just saying a lot of the stuff was bad. But now it's the solver stuff saying it's not as bad. The mass data stuff saying it's really fucking good versus humans. So a lot of the stuff I'm doing again now is just me like revisiting old versions of me with just like a bit more spit and polish. Am I over bluffing? Rivers, fucking definitely. But as for someone who's spent years being known as like an absolute nit, that's no bad thing. I'm still probably too tight in all positions pre-flop in terms of like my raise first in, but not so much too tight that people can really go mad on the overfolds versus me. I'm just really happy where my game is now. I set off at the start of this year hoping by the middle of the year to have a decent sample size with decent results so I could maybe start doing coaching again because I really enjoyed the coaching. But I like to have a lot of confidence in what I'm doing and what I'm trying to teach people in order to do it. I do it a little bit informally with a few people and for very small amounts of money, just with people who I enjoy speaking to. So I'm happy to like not make from them and just spend time discussing poker with them. But yeah, I'm getting the itch again. It's still too early, for me to like be really confident that this is a true win rate and not just variance or what have you. But yeah, I couldn't be happy with how it's going. On top of that, I'm in the Juicy app game, which I'm absolutely fucking cleaning up in. That's 100 in sterling, and I've been only playing it for like maybe 2.5 weeks, and I've basically won about as much as you can see on this graph. Poker couldn't be going better, basically, and I'm really pleased about it. Trying not to get too far ahead of myself, just trying to work really hard. And even though I'm in that app game where I'm like playing 4 times bigger, I'm still really, really hungry to put volume in online in the smaller stakes games. Really, just grind hard, work really, really hard, capitalize on my newfound confidence, my mojo, my current, I think, reasonable edge, even at speed poker. And yeah, just keep working really hard. I'm not saying any goals. I almost set myself a goal, but I don't want to because playing in the app is going to be quite time consuming. It's going to be like 20 plus hours a week. I tried playing on the side, speed poker, but I played a session last night with my red line just fucking tanked. If we put the red line in here, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not going to show very much on here, but it was just this sharp bit just there with the circles covering. Now when I move the circle away, you'll see it. It just tanked, and I was trying to 4-table Russian cash whilst play a really, really fishy app game, and the online stuff just went. I just couldn't find my concentration. But I get bored just playing the app game, so I'm going to have to try and find a solution for that, because I am going to be probably playing the app game 100 hours a month, probably, or close to at least 80 hours a month. But I also want to get, at least 100 plus hours a month in at these games too. So I think I'm going to need to find a way to combine them and not let my performance drop too much. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of the video. There's almost certainly going to be another one later in the week, because this video was 32 hands and it was only hands since Friday. I'm just going to be being high volume. I'm going to have too many hands to get through. So hopefully we'll do another video Wednesday, and maybe I'll put that on Thursday, or maybe just Wednesday, who knows. Maybe even do a live play video at some point too, depending on what hours I'm working this week and what hours I get the house to myself. So there'll be at least one more video this week, maybe two. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one. If you haven't hit like yet, please do. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye for now.